Welcome to Community Hotline for the community, by the community. I'm your host, Bob Fang, and today we have Boy. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Wade. Um, I'm a copywriter by day and illustrator slash artist slash everything else by my free time, which is not a lot sometimes. So yes,
Okay.
this cup is drawn by me, and one of my clients slash collaborators turned it into a cup. It's a pangolin.
Where can they find you, Oi? If they want to cut, where can they find you?
You can check out my Instagram. We was there, OOIWASTHERE. Yes. Get it? We was there,
Oh,
there. I was there. So I'm not here now, but I'm there. I was there. That's where I was.
got
Yes.
it. Got it.
Yes.
What makes you happy in this world?
Huh?
What makes you happy in this world?
What makes me happy in this world is doing art and getting inspired by my life and stuff. And yeah, and occasionally hang out with my friends and making them laugh with my dumb jokes.
Okay. Let's get right into it. First topic of the day is money. Tell us, what is money?
Money is unfortunately what runs the world. Like we wish it weren't, but it's true. It is. When I was a kid, I remember distinctly writing to myself, "You will not sell out. You will not get an office job, and you will not sell out." But here I am with an office job, writing for money, and it's fun because money helps make things travel, and it also helps feed me, and it feeds a lot of people, and it's a good motivator.
Okay.
Don't fight with money. You're not gonna win.
Can you describe when you were a kid and how you felt about money? Like, what was the biggest differences between men and
um well, as a kid, I would say I was quite privileged. I didn't see it because I was comparing myself to other kids, but I would say as a kid, I got to go to a private school and eventually an international school at high school. And this was because my parents worked really hard to earn the money to send me to school. For them, education was very important, and hence they tried to give me all that would make me smart. But I feel like maybe if I had more street smarts, I would be even smarter. But that's something I'm learning now. Um, and I think the reason why I felt like, oh, don't sell out was because of how my father approached money making and doing things for passion. So he had his own hobbies like doing qigong, or like his hobbies with jogging or like gardening or whatever. But he never made it his thing, and he was quite a workaholic during the heyday of his business. And I think during that time, I saw how stressed and distant he was, and perhaps I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't do that shit, you know. Especially with my mom, they always fought a lot. So, sorry, yeah, yeah. So, so it's like, yeah. So, as I grow up and I start to take on more responsibilities as an adult and deal with the world head on instead of the behind the screen or behind someone else or behind my parents, I realized like it helps to have a little bit of money on you, so you don't have to constantly chase things that you don't necessarily need to do.
okay?
So
You got top two money tips for the
yeah,
kids.
top two money tips. If you're a creative person, that you find a way to monetize it in the ways that you're able to. So for me, how my illustration journey started was kind of like weird. I used to go to art school, then I dropped out, and then went to a regular uni to study a regular course. And then I joined clubs and did work for ELE points, which is like club points for my course or something, right? And then from there, I start to provide services to my friends, who need design work as a way to uh, hone my skills and also to earn some extra pocket money. And then from there, after uni, I just start to give my feeling more confident with my design work. I start to monetize there. So I guess it's like, hone your skills first, but find a way to not just do it for free, and then that's a good way to start. So now I'm able to do less work compared to then, at a more like work life balance kind of way, and still earn my money. So yeah, the second one would be, despite you don't want to do the free work, you should know when to adjust your rates to fit the needs of your client, especially if it's someone you want to work with for real. So, um, with some of my clients are, uh, actually most of my clients are like they do stuff related to social work, and I enjoy what they do because I think it's very holistic what they do, and I'm not going to charge them like 6,000 plus if they don't have the budget for it, right? Even though if I think I deserve it, but if they don't have the budget, this project's not going to happen, and we're not going to see it through. So what I do is, I give them a more affordable rate, or discuss what can be done, and we make it a collaborative thing instead of I you do everything I say kind of thing. So yeah, and it helps me grow my skill set as well. I'm not, because I didn't study to be an illustrator or animator or whatever, right? I studied to be a writer essentially essentially, but I still like drawing and stuff. So this is me turning a hobby into something, that benefits my community. Yeah.
Okay, I
Mm.
love that. That was so detailed,
Yeah.
organized.
Yes. Was it organized? I think I rambled a
Yes,
bit.
organized. Okay, that bring when you talk about
Hmm.
like your whole journey from like not making money with it and making money with it.
Hmm.
It still kind of makes me think before how when you were a kid and you were like, don't sell out, da 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 da.
Yeah.
What would you? I guess I'm thinking about kids now who feel that
Mhm.
way. Like, yo, don't sell out. In the future, what would you like say to them about what's
I guess.
coming about what's coming? Because something's gonna come, right? They're
Mhm.
gonna the real world's gonna hit them. So what would you say to them?
Okay, what does selling out mean to a person?
Yeah, what
What
did it
does
mean to you? What did it mean
Yeah.
to you?
Oh, well, for me, it was doing work just for money's sake, and because I always felt like I want to speak my truth. I don't want to bend to the will of a corporate entity or whatever. I don't want to sell lies, and a lot of my works are very erotic, erotic, or like just a bit not really corporate friendly. Right. So I was thinking like, if I have to censor my work, I'm not gonna do it. But then after a while I learned that there's a reason why we censor the work. It's not entirely just because of the corporate is being prudish. It's also just, like the reasons that, um I would say, like, for other people, the turning point would be when you realize you're picking up jobs with toxic clients that might have the same idea as you. They might come to you with "Oh, let's collaborate," but then the collaboration is you doing all the work and them reaping the rewards, and or them taking advantage of you, a young talent, and putting you in situations that you should not be in because you're a young talent and you are just experiencing the industry. um yeah, and but if you have this like boundary, if you're able to establish a boundary with anyone you work with, it helps, of course sometimes you can bend the boundary a bit. It's very gray area, when it comes to working. um but ultimately, like, do it what you think is right, and if it really you can't forfeit that principle, you can let go of it, or you can stick around and see why it is that some people go with it, you know?
Wise words. Wise words.
Yes.
Tell me what
Yeah.
what is the number in your head of how much money you have to make for you to just retire?
I don't know. I'm not good with money stuff. So
Pick a
I
number. Pick a number.
maybe 1 million. If I ever like get 1 million, like if I become a millionaire or a billionaire, okay, I can retire. But like my parents, like even though they're able to afford a nice house or whatever, uh, they still work their ass off until my dad worked his ass off until he died. He died on the job at the work site. So it's like, girl, I ain't ever gonna quit. I ain't ever gonna retire, girl. I'm just gonna keep on working for the rest of my life, girl. I'm gonna get a stroke in the middle of the office day, and then I'll fall down, and then my colleagues gonna come out after me, like asking me for secrets. That's what
Okay,
I'm.
I love. Okay, yo, I like that. Here, let me transition real quick, and I'll still
Okay.
circle it back to education. All right,
Okay.
you said that your dad died on the
Uh-huh.
job. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
He was working at a bungalow site. This is after he had retired. All right. Officially, the business was earning zero money, and we were living off my mom's EPFs. Like the savings that a company does for their employees. Do you have that in America?
Yes.
Hmm.
I forgot what it's called, but it's like a fund, like a money fund, where they
Yeah.
receive some money every month.
Yeah. They keep it for you until you're old, and then they'll release it to you. So we have that in Malaysia. It's called APF. I forgot what's the full name, but yeah. So we were living off that. The EPF is actually whatever my dad channeled in from the heyday of their business. So they're really good at planning their finances. But by the time my dad retired, he had no money in his own, account slash savings because he spent all the money on me, and I was a shit daughter to him. Sorry, I cursed again. So and then, are you gonna put yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, um, yeah. So he even though he retired, he got a job from a fellow contractor, maybe one of his subordinates that he used to work with, or something. I don't remember the details, but I just know that he went to the site, and then he had the stroke, and then his colleagues, and he asked his colleagues to call my mom, and my mom was like, "What the fuck?" And, I'm sorry, and then okay, and then he
All right, we'll rewind it. It didn't happen.
okay, all right, and then uh and then he was on the floor, and he was like this, and then and yeah, and then apparently when he came to in the hospital, he told my mom, one of the subcontractors came up next to him and asked him for, where'd you get the supplies for your aircon thing, you know it's like if Plankton and Mr. Krabs work together, and Plankton asks Mr. Krabs, what's your secret recipe, what's the secret ingredient, and then as he's dying, like that's what happened. And then, and, and I'm just like, what? Yeah, and then he also asked my mom the same thing during his funeral, you know? And yeah, it was so rude. And I was, during my grieving period, I was thinking like, oh, I need to launch an investigation. I'll be like those like crime movies. Maybe, maybe I'll find out why he had the stroke, maybe. But I know why he had the stroke. My mom said he bumped his head while he was driving to the supplier. And then here, and then from there it formed a clot over a few days, and then I noticed that he was acting strangely, but instead of getting him telling my mom about it, I was like, what are you smiling at? Because yeah.
Well, don't blame yourself.
Oh no,
Uh,
I don't. Yeah.
what? So what? Well, thank you for sharing that. What are some top three uh lessons you learned from that experience?
Oh, if someone's acting weird, and even if like it's really your call, if you want to alert them, like, girl, what's up with you, girl? Or let it fester and them to, result into something you don't, you know, or yeah, and just like, yes, that's one. And then the second one is like,
Be more observant. That's what you're saying, right?
yeah, be more observant and don't let your own like biasness or disgruntledness with the person take away from something that you could have prevented. The second would be, don't work with people who want to, get your secrets. Like, I'm pretty sure they let him to fester in that pain, in that state for a while, until then only they call the ambulance. Then again, this is me making up stories. I don't know that man. All I knew is that that man would send porn to my dad. and, and one time he accidentally sent it to one of our tenants, and then which was a young woman. and then and then my mom was the one that found out when she was trying to talk to her for work to collect her rental, and then she went to my dad and was like, "Why did you send this to her?" And it was a girl with her tits out, and she was just like this, and the text was like, "Good morning, sir," or something. After his death, I was looking through my dad's phone, and there was literally a video of a woman eating out some, another woman's thing, and I was like, "Me, why is this impossible? Why is this impossible?" And she's like, "Oh, it's not him. It's his subcontractors that's sending him all these videos." But it was saved in his phone. It was saved in his phone.
Hey, guys got needs. Sorry to.
He's not that kind of man.
He's a man. He's a man. I'm sorry. I don't. I know you. If you don't want to believe that he's a man, but he's a man, and men can do man things. But yeah. All right. What's number 3? What's the last one?
Okay. The third one. I don't know. Third one. Take on jobs that that is at least satisfying to you. Not just for the money. Holistic, as they call it. If it fulfills like some need for you to do more. So for him, the last job that he had was with a bungalow owner who was into feng shui and all that. I guess maybe they were friends or something, but I don't know. I think he took it because he needed the rush of a job again to feel more in control. But it feels a bit empty, like if you died at some rich guy's house, is it really worth it? He could have been with my mom. Oh, he didn't die then. He took a week, then he died. But yeah, it's like basically, honestly, like that the stroke was what I would consider him dead by then. So yeah, cut that out, please. Don't keep that in. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Die doing things you love.
die for the things that you love.
Yeah.
Like it. All right. Let's do a 180. Who are you in high school?
Who was I in high school? Oh, I was the girl that was kind of quiet and weird in her own world. You know Lily from Sex Education?
I don't think I've seen Sex Education.
Well, Sex Education has this girl who she's kind of weird, and she always draws vaginas and penises and writes sex stories, and she's kind of weird. She has a lot of weird kinky shit, like fantasy stuff. But when she goes and tries to do it, she's like, "Oh my god, I don't like this." That's me. I am Lily. I am Lily. Unfortunately, I did not find anyone to experiment with when I was in high school because everyone thought I was weird. So
Okay.
that's fair. Yeah.
What is high school like in Malaysia?
Well, I went to a private slash international high school, so most of my peers were very westernized, So because we all enjoyed like American or British movies, shows, etc. And we all keep up with world news and stuff. So for us, is a little bit closer to what you guys experience, but it's we're I think we're quite tame compared to you guys, but there were some scandals that happened after I left, which I think is normal. You know, it's high school. What do you expect from kids, right? It's when the parents place value on it, then it's like that's an issue. So yeah,
What was a
um,
what was a defining moment in your youth,
in my youth,
in your high
in my
school
high
years?
school,
High school.
um, uh, I I uh, I had a crush on this guy. He was like he was my best friend in high school, but he wasn't hot. Nah, he wasn't that handsome. He looked kind of weird. But
What?
I liked him because he helped me out with my maths, and then I got really good at maths. I scored an A star in my maths for my final exam. So yeah, I
Okay.
used to be scoring D's and C's, and then I met him, and then we got close. And then to get close to him even more, I would we would do Skype, and I'll ask him how to do math stuff, and then he'll teach me, and then and then I got really good at math. So yes.
Okay. Did
He
you guys
liked
ever?
someone else though. He liked someone else. And then when I confessed, he was like, I don't feel the same way, bro. And then I freaked out and I stopped talking to him because I was really embarrassed. He reached out a few years later, like, girl, I know what happened, but you know, we can still be friends, but not like before. And I'm like, I agree, but I don't really want to revisit this friendship with you. So yeah.
what 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 tips would you have for the kids who are going through that experience of confessing their
Oh,
love for the guy and
girl,
what?
he ain't that cute, girl. He ain't that cute. Like just honestly, girl, when you look back at him when you're like 25, 24, you're like, girl, I could have done better, girl. You know, but then again, I wasn't that cute when I was in high school, so it's fine, girl. We all take what we can get, you know? You know? It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, you know, like you're gonna meet better men in uni and stuff. Have more reciproc I don't know how to pronounce that word, but reciprocating kind of relationships. And there's nothing wrong with having guy friends that you love, but they don't love you back. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. There's so many men that I love, but I can't have. So I'm just kind of like, okay, okay. You know, all you need to do is learn how to control that feeling you have, which is actually just your primal urges is your hormones surge in your body telling you that you need to breathe and shit. Yes. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. Oh damn it. Oh, it's the third one already. Right.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like that. All right, let's move on to the last topic of the day,
Okay.
which is love. Um, what is love?
Uh baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. What is love? Baby. Yeah, that's what is love. It's a
Can you
song, but what? Huh?
can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Oh, okay. Well, for love, it's like it's weird. There's different types of love. If you're into psychology, there's like 7 types of love. I think the most prominent ones are like I think one is about practical love, pragmatic love, and lustful love, and platonic love, which is the one that I experienced the most, I guess. Pragmatic love is what I see from my parents, where even though they clash in a lot of ways, they choose to stay together and work together and build the business together and also raise me together. You know, even though there are times where they get really bad fights, and it's usually from over dumb shit. I like a disagreement of how to handle things, right? And then I'll be there like, yeah, you know, as we do with as children, as a teenager, and then eros love, which is erotic love or like lust, which a lot of kids will go through as they age between puberty, because we're horny, and you're gonna keep being horny for the rest of your life. Honestly, um, it's just that you need to understand. Sometimes you can still be like a good person when you're being lustful. You just that not a lot of people will be the same way. You need to pick the right partners. Be lustful for people, but don't be lustful for the assholes. Just saying. If they're not gonna treat you with like basic respect, like checking in on you after the shit is done, like, don't go back to them.
How do you tell if someone's an asshole? For the kids. What
Um,
would you say to your younger self? Like, these are the top 3 signs to avoid.
okay, if this man is saying that he will teach you things, he is not a suitable lover. He is a mentor, and you should not cross that boundary, because if you do that, you're gonna have weird relationships with all your mentors, and it's gonna be kind of weird. yeah, yeah, it's very strange. I had to draw that boundary after that first man. So yeah. So yes,
Okay,
yes.
if they want to teach you something, okay, what's the second one? Second,
Okay. The second one is, oh wait, what was the question again?
what are like the top 3 signs to avoid
Oh,
in
to
guys?
avoid in a guy. Okay. If he has a girlfriend or a wife, don't don't feed that crush on him, because it's not gonna go anywhere, and he's gonna make promises that he's not gonna keep, and you're gonna be sad about it. But you can make great art about it, and a lot of artists have gone through it. Look at The Weeknd. The Weeknd has a lyric that goes like, when you're kissing him, you're thinking of me," kind of. Yeah, it's normal. You can develop questions on a married or a taken guy, but don't act on it. You're gonna regret it, or you're gonna create great art from it. Either or. Just don't beat yourself up over it. And then the third one is, actions speak louder than words, as cliche as it is. So you're gonna meet some guy who promises you the world and says like, "Oh, we'll see where it goes." But then where it goes, when you think it's going somewhere, he's like, "Oh no, I'm not really into this or whatever." And then, but he'll still string you along. "I still want you in my life." And then you're gonna like try to help him out with his stuff. Maybe give him money when you don't have enough money for yourself. And then you're gonna realize like, "Oh shit, oh sorry." and then he's gonna run away your money and not pay you back. There's a lot of money, and you're gonna feel too triggered by him to ask for the money back, so you block him. That's what happened to me. So yes, yes. Don't if he starts asking you for money, don't do it. Or if he starts hinting at you that he needs money and he doesn't have anyone else to ask it from, don't do it. Don't do it. He's a man. He's a man. He can, if he's still in working condition, he can earn the money. You're not his girlfriend. You should not be giving him that kind of privilege into your life. Yes. And you shouldn't give money to people just because you want them to like you. That's the fourth thing. Yes.
Have you done that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What have you done? Can you elaborate? Tell me a story. Tell us a story. Personal
I'll
story.
tell you the story of the guy. So I met this guy, thought he was great. He was different from the other guys because he gave off like I will respect you kind of vibe. But then I realized he always talked about other women in bed. And then he kind of like uh I mean, I was also reaching a bit like. Honestly, I really wanted a boyfriend at the time, and he was the nicest guy, I thought. And he seemed nice, and he was saying things like, "Oh, I really like you. You're different from other girls. This other girl I'm seeing, I don't really like her anymore." So it's kind of, "Oh, okay, I'm special." And then COVID happened, and he starts getting lazy. He blames the weather for not being able to do stuff. deliveries, whatever. He was the delivery guy, by the way. He was a delivery guy, by that's his job. Yeah. So I didn't meet him through a delivery app, but I met him through Tinder, and then that kind of, and then yeah, and it's like I don't want to downplay his issues because he had mental issues, and which stopped him from functioning sometimes. So I took pity because one, it's kind of hot. So and I, I'm just he worked out. So what can I say? That's kind of hot, And then I'm like, why not? Why not just invest a bit on a guy? People say that I'm too picky, so why not give it a go? And then when COVID was really bad and he couldn't get jobs at all, and he was running very low on funds, I decided, okay, I'll give you some money. Like, why not? Like, so that you like me, And then I gave him money, and then I even gave him money to buy his damn phone, a new phone when we were starting out. I've known him for like maybe a week or two at that point. Yeah. And then he paid me back half of it for the phone. The rest he never really got around to it. And then the extra money you gave him also he didn't pay for it either. So it's like,
hold on. So I just want to recap the story.
Yeah.
So I understand. You met a guy on Tinder. You met a hot guy on Tinder.
Yeah.
And then within a week of meeting this guy on Tinder, you buy him a new phone.
No, it's right. It's so gross. Oh my god! Please don't share this to the kids. It's so sad. Like
It's not.
I became those men that have like honey pots and shit. I told my other friend about it, and he's like, "Girl, sounds like you got a honey pot, girl." And I'm like,
Wait, is that what happened though? You met this guy on
That's what happened. That's basically what okay, the phone thing was like he was telling me his phone was acting up and he needed a new phone. So he was looking for it and he was with me. So I was like, "Oh, you need money for it? Okay, I got some extra money I can give you." That time my expenditure wasn't that big, right? Because COVID wasn't so bad and can still afford with my salary at the time. But now that prices have risen, it's not cheap anymore to just, I can't simply give
free phones out to people. You get a new phone.
It was a second-hand phone, so it was still okay. All right, just to clarify, I didn't buy him a new phone. All right, it was a second-hand from the expat.
I just want to share that this is a no shame, no guilt environment.
Okay.
I just think you're not the only one that goes through this. I'm sure plenty of people go through this.
Yeah.
And I think it would be very brave and helpful to for other women to listen to you share, and then they're like, you know what? I'm not the only one who fell for a hot guy.
Yeah.
Like it definitely happens. Okay, let's. I talk with a lot of kids, and one of their biggest issues is communicating with their parents. Like, oh, I can't tell my mom anything because she don't understand me. You ever go through something like that with your mom?
Yeah, I think for a period of time, I just kept everything to myself because my parents have this tendency to downplay my issues. Because that's what the older generation does. You have to understand, they lived through it. That was their life. And so for a long time, I was very resentful to them. But then I realized the reason why they're so like that is because they actively made the choice to not get affected by the words of others or be affected by the issues that they face and got through it. So that's what they're trying to instill on you. But let's say if something like sex, of course they're not going to be comfortable. It's like they're seeing their child, grow up before them, and they don't want to see that, But it's they'll listen. You know, you don't have to you don't have to add in all the details. You just say, I like this guy, and then he broke my heart, and you don't, yeah, just say something like that. You don't have to add in like we had sex, and then he didn't use a condom, and then those details leave out. The details that you think will give your parents a heart attack, you just leave out. The ones that are important, like, oh, he made me spend money on him. He made me feel like this. He used his, that's just keep that in. That's what you need help with, right? That's how you navigate the whole like talking to your parents, so that in a way that they can understand you, one, and in a way that wouldn't make them die two. So yeah. But of course, if your parents are like super abusive, I would advise to talk to a counselor first.
Okay. When you say your parents were dismissive of your feelings, and you know and you
Mm.
can you elaborate on that, like what?
I would. Okay. So I mean, at the time, it felt dismissive, right? Because
Personal
you know,
story. Personal story.
personal story. Yeah. Like the time I was freaking out about doing printing for my assignments, and I was actually having an anxiety attack. Like I didn't realize at the time, but I look back like, oh yeah, that was an anxiety thing. And then my mom, instead of like helping me out, was freaking out. She's, I don't like it when you get like this, and it makes it about her, and and then my dad was like calm, and he just helped me with his things because he is used to it, because his whole family has this kind of issue, right? Very worrisome, very anxiety ridden. So he's kind of deal. It's and then she would be like, but then when I'm feeling depressed or whatever, and I try to talk to my mom about it, she's like, "Do you feel alone in a room full of people? Do you feel like there's no one to talk to?" Holds my hand. Have you thought about God? Have you thought about God? Really? When I was like dying from a lack of sleep and trying to use Zoloft and it's not working. Oh God. Yeah, yeah. God was the one that I needed to talk to me and listen to my problems. Not you at 3 a.m. in the fucking kitchen. My hands shaking from the Zoloft use. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I
You
like
know?
emotion. I know. I feel it.
Yeah.
And
It's
how is your relationship now?
Oh, it's fine. I just straight up told her like this is nothing to do with mental health. At one point, I told her because I'm an adult now, right? And I just keep telling her I want to move out, and she says, "Why you want to move out? This place is great. You just drive." And I'm like, "I want to bring boys home. I want to do stuff with them. I don't." And then she's like, "I'm open. It's okay." and, and then months later, after I brought like two boys home, I was like, talk. Then she was like trying to talk to me about relationships and stuff, and I was like, yeah, actually, I have a lot of lovers, huh? A lot of partners already, yeah. And then she's like, yeah, yeah. Anyone is a boyfriend? What's that? One was a boyfriend. Ah, that guy that just told her about that boyfriend, lah. And then she's just like, I was never like this, huh? I had two guys chase me before. And then yeah, so and then now she's more comfortable swearing in front of me as well. Used to be just me swearing a lot, and they would be uncomfortable about it. But the thing is, my dad is a contractor, so he swears a lot. So I would say I learned it from him, but that would be that would be also unfair. Cause actually no, he just swore oh yeah, he would just say like the Cantonese version of the F word. With
What is the
everything.
kids version of the F word for the
Diu,
kids? Huh?
diu, diu,
You.
diu, diu,
You.
diu. Oh, Do it up. F him. Why is it like this? Yes. That was my dad. Yeah.
I like it. Okay. And was it? Did you ever have communication issues with your dad growing up when you were younger?
Yes. I didn't understand why he was so stone cold sometimes, and then he would try to be friendly with me other times until we got a puppy, and she would come to me for affection and stuff. I'd be like, stop, or like I'll be very affectionate. I realized that's the same situation. There's a kid that wants to play, but I'm working and I'm busy and stressed, so I can't deal with this right now. Uh, but the difference between me and the puppy was that as a kid, I would hold the resentment towards him, and I would not allow him the affection that he denied me. So, yeah. In fact, like it was so strange. My mom would ask me to kiss him sometimes at the cheek, kind of thing, because I think he would like that kind of relationship. But but we don't do that. We're not that kind of. I don't even hug my mom. It's We don't have that kind of relationship.
Even now, you don't hug your mom.
Nah.
You give her a high
Yeah,
five.
no. I don't really touch her. She doesn't touch me either. So they touch each other. I just kind of like. So yeah. So I didn't realize I was so touch starved until I started looking for men. So so yeah. So it's
Okay.
quite strange. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Touch a
And
kid. I mean, like not. Oh God, cut that out. Don't touch your kids. Embrace them. Embrace your kids. Yes, that's better. That's a better way of saying it.
okay. All right. Well, we went through a lot today. Just to wrap it up,
Yes.
what are uh, two pieces of life advice you would have for young kids? You know,
For young kids to do what?
just to survive in this world. No BS. Don't. What are like the practical? Practical tips.
Okay. One thing I really learned is that even though we are very aware of social issues or things that should the ideal way of running things or doing things, we have to be empathetic to the older generation who maybe they weren't aware of it or who weren't able to reinforce what they believe. Um, and we work within our own means to make what we believe is ideal to happen. I'll give an example from me at work. So when I first entered my company, everyone was very quiet and just distant. I think it's just because they're introverts. I'm also an introvert, but I was bored. I'm a copywriter. Copywriting is kind of boring sometimes. So I tried to make jokes and just encourage my team to be less quiet. And I didn't like how my teammate would be too um, short with me, but I also realized like she is facing her own struggles, so I shouldn't judge so much. So instead of confronting her and telling her off or whatever and saying things about her, I just the next time our new hire came in and she's around my age and I realized she's struggling, I try to be nicer to her, and now we have a nice friendship, and we enforce a more supportive kind of uh, thing between us, and that passes on to the other new hires. So, and I can sense that the new hires are more relaxed and as compared to me before. So yeah, change starts with you. So if you want to see change happen, do it, and maybe your your older gen will recognize it and see you trying, maybe laugh at you a bit, but it's cool. It's called having enthusiasm. That's one,
Change
right?
starts with you. Yeah.
Yeah. You want the two advices, right? Two. Okay. Second one is it's okay to mess up. Yeah, it's
Wow.
okay. Yeah, it's okay to mess up because like things happen. Sometimes I sometimes like my emotions get the best of me, and my expectations. Let's say I expect someone to do something a certain way, and they don't reach it, and I get really pissed at them to the point where it's really scary. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I can be quite scary. All right, I am quite frightening. I have scared a few men in my life that are all taller than me. They are scared of me because I have a sharp tongue. I'm a copywriter. I know what hurts. So and then, uh, and then yeah, it's like yeah, it happens. And then how to fix that from being toxic or being too much is you take a step back and you reassess how you feel. For me, I worked with a therapist to deal with all these anger issues, and it was a process. Okay, I won't lie. I think I cut ties with some people during the process, but it's needed. You know, anger issues happen because we grew up not feeling heard, right, from our parents or whatever, which was the thing for me. Mostly because my parents grew up also the same way, and they just dealt with it, and they expected me to do the same way. And of course, I've tried, but it's not working. My mom had a bout of anger issues as well because at one point she was taking hormones to get a second child, but then it didn't happen. So yeah, it's okay. You will mess up, and it will be difficult, and you will lose friends, but you will also make new friends when you're better. So yes.
Love that. Okay, well, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for joining us for the community hotline. Oi, can you tell us once more where they can find you? Can they buy your merch? People want
You
to
can
help.
you can find me on We Was There on Instagram. I don't really do merch because shipping is a bit messy for me. So, but I do commissions, and we can work out something. If you want like artwork for your albums or your maybe a gift to a friend, we can discuss something. I do a lot of printmaking, a lot of illustrations. Just hit me up.